Alrighty, if we are all back, I am going to set the timer rolling for the final round. So, we are here in a few, actually I guess the time pressure is off. The jets, or the fighters, are veering off and appear to be following a course back to their long-range recon ship that brought them here. Very puzzling for everyone involved. I should have made everybody save their questions for now, their questions for Hewlett and such, but it's done, it's canon, here we are. What do we think? So, how did they know where you were going to come out of jump?
Well, we broadcast our course heading when we jump, and there's a limited distance we can travel.
Does Vril know the specs on your ship, as far as like it being a Jump 3 ship?
I would assume so.
Okay. Is it possible to track someone while they are in jump space?
No.
No. Good. I wanted to make sure that one was off the table. You are completely untrackable when you are in jump space. So they found you by another means. Now, if they found you here, where else might they be able to find you?
Anywhere.
Yeah, I would say that we'd have to know how they found you to know where they can find you. Now, where can Doulos find you?
Anywhere in the
Anywhere.
Felbrig
Felbrig.
subsector.
Mm-hmm. And what is stopping you from leaving the Felbrig subsector?
Hewlett.
And by the way, is there any place in the universe where you would be tempted to head if you were going to head somewhere?
Knowing what our characters know?
Mm-hmm. All right, how about
Anywhere
this?
outside the Felbrig subsector.
How about this? Whose backstory might we know some things about?
Mine.
Really?
Yours.
Who else's? That would be nobody. So, and where did they say that Naj Gore's notoriety is seated?
Trojan Reach.
Yeah, so if you just had to pick a direction, there is at least a reason for choosing heading toward the Trojan Reach. Now, I had covered before, I've always seen Felbrig as kind of being down here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, northwest, northwest, something along those lines might be a direction you would want to head if you were going to try to exit the system.
Mm-hmm.
So with all of that in mind,
Yeah.
and there's
Brindle's
the,
on the way then.
huh?
Brindle's on the way then.
It is, if you go that direction, Brindle is on the way. And we would want to return to Brindle because that's where Mink's damaged ship is. And can,
The only problem is Mink's damaged ship doesn't have brain water.
We'd just take a 5-gallon jug or 50-gallon, 100-gallon jug.
Or his...
Or we could just take we could totally scavenge / scrap the Doulos ship. We could take the brain water machine. I don't know if it's a machine so much as a dispenser, but
yeah, I see it attached to a large tank. We never even covered where the food comes from. I always envision that there is a huge storage thing in there with all of these bags in it. And so I told you very early on in the story that sooner or later you will run out of a particular food because it's not a food replicator. They've got bags of food on board. So yeah, somewhere on board the Doulos ship, there is a huge stash of food packets and there is a huge gallon of brain water. I wonder how much brain water.
we can decrease our dosage.
Well, now, I don't think I made it clear, but Hewlett has said that that's why you guys are already experiencing memory problems. And I assumed that you guys were going to ask about the lipstick thing that he jammed in Poxo's nose. Hey, don't be bogarting that, hand that over here. And he would have said to you that if you stop taking brain water, you will lose all your memories. You will reset to having no memories whatsoever. The process that you had done to remove all of your memories, they had to remove your brain's ability to create new memories. That the chemical, the enzyme in your brain, and by the way, I Googled a lot of this stuff too, so I'm not just making it up. The enzyme in your brain that causes memories to be stored and locked into your brains now no longer produce. And so what your brain water does is it's an a synthetic enzyme that makes it to where you can now form new memories. The fact that you have cut down to 90%, 80%, you are already seeing violent tendencies coming back because there's nothing to govern the amygdala. You're just going to feel what you feel and go with it. And it's why you can't remember things that just happened 3 weeks ago, or at least they're fuzzy, is because, yes, you're cutting down your brain water. You can't do that. You have to take the full dose.
Says Doulos.
Says Hewlett, for that matter.
But he says that because of Doulos.
Does he? He did already say at some point he's not a chemist.
We could ask him how he came off of it.
And he kind of already answered that when he said he doesn't know. He doesn't remember even ever taking it. It's part of it. If it really is an enzyme that's missing in your brain, a long time ago you guys were wondering, and especially with his science plants, could you synthesize your own replacement for it that does not have
The side effects.
the mind control drugs? It could be that if they're telling the truth, you are permanently disabled mentally, and you are going to need help for the rest of your life. Is it true? Is it not true? How much of it do you want to risk? According to Hewlett, you will eventually get to the point, especially if you stop taking your brain water, you will eventually get to the point where it's going to be like the movie Memento, that even 10 minutes ago you can't remember.
So what are we gonna do?
So these guys have the code to Doulos, or at least us. And I think we need to, there's a few things that I would like to do. One is obviously change their ability to turn us off.
Which could still happen at any moment now while you're talking about it.
Yeah. And then 2 would be to get out of here. Go somewhere where they don't know we're going.
Which brings us back to the one problem.
I think the first order of business, if we're not in immediate danger, is to change the ability for us to be turned off.
Whose console did Hewlett unlock?
Contact mine.
That's true, he would have had to, but we saw him unlock nav helm. You can now steer. Because of an emergency, he had to do something he would not ordinarily do. So now that the helm is unlocked, if you were to try to do something drastic, this would be a perfect moment before he locks it again. I think
We
There-
should set course outside the subsector.
Well, we can't, really. I mean, I guess we... Because the only way out would be go to right by Dalla or right by Nelius.
when will you not have control of your console again?
When this is over.
Somebody else?
When Hewlett locks us out again.
Ergo,
We need to do it now.
We don't have access to
If it were me
chip systems.
and I were standing there, this might be the time that I say, all right, get in, guys! You know, because now the helm is unlocked.
Mhm.
And so, boy, if Hewlett is the major obstacle, then you might put the tackle in, or take the tackle out of obstacle. I don't know. It would seem to me this would be the, and I didn't write any of this, I'm just saying what I would do
Okay,
if I
so
were
here's
there.
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to whisper to somebody, whoever is most convenient, furthest away from Hewlett. I'm gonna say, distract him for like 5 minutes.
That's a long time.
It might not be that long. I just need to get my stun stick.
Okay.
I have a grappling hook.
Who could innocently distract him? No, I didn't mean that.
Composition.
I meant you were looking at their radio traffic. Perhaps you could say, hey, Hewlett, I
think I found
decoded.
something.
Yeah, I might have
Oh,
found something
yeah.
here.
Make up some.
Try-
Make
So-
up some stuff.
Try to do the lost toy.
Streetwise. I don't know, streetwise. Wait, don't you have some kind of persuade something? No.
That's in Traveler.
Well, then, yeah, I guess give me a streetwise roll. And here's what we're going to do. The effect, the amount that it is over 8, is the number of minutes she's able to distract him.
6. Wow, that's a
6
lot.
minutes is a long time. Oh man, really? 6?
Mm-hmm.
Hewlett apparently is not interested in what she's trying to distract him with. I hate to break the news. The dice decided it, not me.
Alright, this is what I'm gonna do then.
But you wanted your stun stick, right? Where is your stun stick?
It's in my locker.
You better go get it.
'Cause so you could just leave the bridge, right?
Yeah, I could just leave the bridge. I could say sorry guys, I need to go to the bathroom.
Or you need to check something in engineering.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, all right. So what's on the map? Where? Let's see. There's the bridge, and you want to go to the bunkhouse,
Get my stun stick
which is
in a locker.
oh, engineering is down at the end. But you mean the locker in the bunkhouse, right?
Mhm.
So you would go out and round the corner. He's probably so freaking out about everything he doesn't even notice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you make it to your quarters. You get your stun stick. What are you gonna do now? Okay.
Put it in my pocket.
All right.
I'm gonna
Then
when I see him coming, I'm gonna say, "What is that?" And I'm pointing at the office.
Hey, look over there! I guess that one still works. And by the way, in your pocket, we keep seeing the picture, right? I got the feeling like the stun stick was this long, but fine, you concealed it. I'm just being clear here.
and then I zap him.
You get behind him, you zap him. Do we know what stun sticks do?
They
I think it.
render unconscious.
Oh, it's unconscious, we're sure of that?
That's what I
No.
thought.
Oh,
Let's-
here's
I guess that's what the
a
stun
short and
beads
innocent
do.
looking at this
A debilitating
painful
shock.
and delivering shock to anyone
Alright.
who touches.
What are the odds? Oh, touches the wrong end, right. What are the odds that that would come up right then? Stun stick, debilitating. Well, that's not very specific, but fine. He's a weakling. He's a wimp. So, and then he falls over. Fine. All right. Hewlett is now unconscious. The fighters have left. The helm is unlocked, but everything else is still locked for them. Oh, we'll have to say that Comtac is unlocked. Somebody roll a 1d6. Actually, I'll roll a 1d6. I have not rolled my dice this whole time. 4 hours until you can jump.
Alright,
Hold on, let me
so
put
this
a
is
thing in
what
mine.
we
We
need
have
to
to
do.
tie
We need
him.
to gag him.
We need to tie him.
We need to tape.
Because it's voice activated.
Oh.
Yeah, but if we tie him, he won't be able to use his arms.
Yeah, we'll tie him up and gag him. And then apologize profusely and try to convince him. Well, then I think, you know what we could do? What if we just did a jump Not a very short jump to right here.
To a midway point?
And just somewhere unexpected. No one will know we're there. We don't communicate to anybody. We just do a jump.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's still a week though.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so,
They wouldn't expect us to land in the middle of nowhere.
Or we could go to Rebutes.
well, for that matter, it seems to me they wouldn't expect you to go the opposite direction. They wouldn't expect you to only jump two parsecs. Seems to me that's all sorts of surprised that they'd be. What did you say, Vlad? Boss?
We could also go to that Rebutes
But
place.
people might see us there. The wrong people.
That's true.
Yeah, okay, so, you want to set a course and drop out here,
But
you
we
said?
still have to broadcast our course though.
Yeah, I'm just marking real
No.
quick.
No?
Let me, now, as
Only
far
if there's
as,
other people there.
Oh,
as far as broadcasting the course, it's my own fault, I've never clarified. It's not actually your jump course that you broadcast. It's your bearing. It's, I'm going to be heading that way.
Yeah.
So that does not determine, you're not actually giving anybody your jump course, just the course that you're going to be using as you head for jump. Again, I'm borrowing from Star Trek, the newer Star Treks, or the Next Gen and Voyager, where we see them rev up, they take off, and then they disappear into a sparkle of light or whatever. So all you're broadcasting is that direction that you're going.
oh,
I don't even know if we need to do that though.
oh, okay.
It's not like we're in busy space. Space is huge. We could, because they don't know how far we're going, so it's not unreasonable to do it anyway. But it still would be less likely for them to find us.
I wonder if somebody by observation or scans or anything can tell which way you're jumping. I mean, but I would, surely they could, because if they see you going that direction and then you disappear into jump space, yeah, you'd be
There'd be
jumping.
at least an approximate trajectory.
All right, so if that long-range recon ship is watching when you guys leave, they'll at least know which direction you're jumping. So it's a good thing you're only jumping 2 parsecs. Unless they want to post somebody everywhere, but I know of somebody else who might attempt to do that as well. Doulos might attempt to cast a net to find you if you try to go. So I think you're making the right move, personally.
Yeah, I think we should do that.
All right.
And then we should work on Hewlett during the jump week.
Yeah.
And our comm links. And maybe the mink microchip.
Okay, well, I'm seeing a great place to stop here.
I think that was.
We will say that 4 hours elapsed and you successfully jumped into jump space. You are heading for that penciled in X there. And during the next week, you are going to be trying to get blood from a stone or cooperation from a Hewlett anyway. And we might do something similar next time and talk about the things that were done rather than try to plot it all out linearly. Yeah, we have 10 minutes on the clock, so we're stopping at a very good point. Is there any reason why we should not stop here? Then I want to thank you, Tara, for your stuff at the table today. Thank you, Vlad. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Wesley. I appreciate every single one of you. And yeah, the ending has begun. Of all the things I've complained about a Chromebook, that has been one that I have brought up over and over and over, is life would have more meaning if I could edit video on it. And finally the day is here.
All right.
About as long as I've been complaining that I need a clapboard or something. So thank you, Eric.